On the Gallows High, a short story by Thomas J Devens. A silence had settled upon the crowd, that uneasy silence, the sort of silence that shrouded the thoughts of the masses moments before the chaos would inevitably erupt, the calm before the storm. Gulls cawed overhead, circling the onlookers as waves crashed against rocky shores. 3 corpses swung upon taut ropes, swaying with the breeze. One more gurgled and grunted, struggled and writhed. It wasn't quite a corpse, yet. It didn't matter. One rope cut too short and an example made. A message. The man would die slow. A corpse nonetheless. Those sounds, the few that broke the eerie silence and stillness surrounding the docks, echoed through the city, made all the more obscene by their starkness. Gah! The man spluttered against the pressure on his throat. Words forced through futile gasps. Rise! His body jerked, legs twitching and kicking. A guard snorted a laugh, his wide face lined as it contorted into a wicked sneer. They all stood encircling the gallows, clubs at hand, derision played upon their faces. The man's body convulsed once more and hung limp, joining the others at last in their macabre dance within the silent breeze. Even the gulls went quiet. Voley watched from the rooftop of the Sailor's Delight. He watched the mob shift with the tension, watched the corpses of another batch of his comrades swing. He watched the whole vulgar display as the sun set, painting a backdrop of crimson and violet behind state violence. Oi, Voley! Dell called from the trapdoor. It's time! Voley wiped the tears from his eyes. He'd not let her see him in such a state. Right. The governor's royal constabulary were arrayed in force, dozens of armed and armored guards, gritted teeth and scarred truncheons awaiting the fuse's end, daring the common folk to move. More guards lay in wait, hidden in the alleyways. Fuck. Voley let out the sigh he'd been holding back. We gotta, right? Worth the cost. Dell shook her head, taking up her position at Voley's side. Worth it? Nah. But there ain't a fucking choice no more. Aye. Governor pushed our hands. She strung her bow. And now, we've the numbers. But it weren't the numbers Voley was concerned about. It was the innocents ready to sacrifice. The light of the dying sun reflected from a bit of mirror atop a roof an alley over. Gren's ready. Dell nodded. And Fortnell. All's in place. Voley breathed deep. There'd be no turning back, but the boiling point had long since come and gone. Kill 'em all. Across the way, Fortnell rose from his cover on the weaver's roof. He flung his arm. The guard's nose cracked beneath the impact of the rock, ringing out over the apprehensive crowd. A beautiful sight, that, Voley muttered, mostly to himself. The roar of the mob echoed through the city. Fear flashed across the faces of the constabulary, a nick in their otherwise arrogant self-assuredness. Gazes darting towards alleys before finding their resolve once more. We rise! A voice shouted from the crowd. We rise! We rise! The crowd resounded, making their push toward the gallows. The forces clashed, screams and shouts curdling in the chill autumn air, the guards in their armor, but the people were many. Blood seeped along the cobbles, running in rivulets to the sea. A true fear entered the eyes of the guards, as knives were slipped from belts and their forces were surrounded. Voley grinned. They're moving! Dell pointed toward the alley. The constabulary reinforcements moved in. Now! Voley shouted, and across the rooftops his comrades rose. Arrows blackened the sky, and the guards died in droves. Corpses littered the alleys, thinning the numbers, giving the mob a chance. We're off to see the governor. Voley released his final arrow. Dell smiled. Then back to the sailors for a pint. Aye, back for a pint. Rising flames wreathed the gubernatorial manor, licking the black sky. The time of silence was over. The time of waiting and licking the boots of the constabulary was over. The time of groveling. We're fucking done. Voley waved his comrades onward and marched, Dell at his side, back to the docks, back to the gallows, back to the carnage. The aura of the inferno guided them. A wide-faced guard gurgled and spluttered beneath the four bodies still swinging. Foley smiled and brought down his club. He wiped the tears and mud and blood from his face. Tear it the fuck down.